two items that have been around for a long time but are hotter than ever are spec suites and turnkey buildouts. They're more important now to tenants than we've seen in candidly ever before. The old days of looking at one spec suite as your model and then going to look at raw space and building it out, landlords are actually building spec suites throughout the building. Many options of various sizes, from 3,000 feet up to 30 or 40,000 square feet. Tenants are really looking for those plug and play opportunities, and if they don't have a spec suite that meets their needs, in the negotiations, tenants more than ever are really digging in on a turnkey type environment, which means they'll go to the landlord and say, here's our space plan, here's our finishes, here's our specifications, you build it at your cost, at your risk. And the reason why that's more important than ever is that with all the supply chain issues, there's all types of cost increases going on. The timelines to get these build outs done are getting longer and longer, and tenants just don't want to be in the mode of having to manage a build out process like they had in the past. So certainly we're still seeing tenant allowance transactions getting done, but we're seeing more and more occupiers or tenants really pushing for turnkey build-outs. They want the landlords to take on that piece of the transaction. So the landlords are building kind of these down the middle spec suites or various ones. One might be a wide open spec suite. One might be one that caters to a professional service firms. We've actually done several law firms that have taken spec suites, which we didn't see in the past. A lot of the demand in the past was open users, tech startups, things of that nature that needed space immediately. There was a wide open spaces, and they'd have only a couple options. Now you're seeing the demand for these spec suites come from all across industry. And landlords are building out spaces that accommodate professional service firms, where they have 50 to 60% private offices and the rest open, because even professional services firms, financial services, law firms will look for a space that if it meets 80-90% of their needs with slight modifications, they want space they can move into, again, reduce the risk of cost increases, and especially if it's fully furnished with all the issues with supply chain now. So if you have a true company that's looking to move for whatever reason, there is a lot of demand for space that they can see, walk into, and see like they can move into with minimum changes. And candidly, if landlords wanted incentivize tenants, especially new tenants, to move into their buildings, they're going to have to start building out spec suites or be very open to doing these turnkey build outs.